though I would go on, I will live on through the words of this song. I received the news today. The bright sun turned gray. I'm so addicted. I need to feel your body close to mine. We're on a different grind, girl. I wanna see it all when I should play blind. But girl, I can't let go because you blow my mind.
When you're about to have one night, you know I'ma do it to you all night. In a magic body feel.
So addicted. I need to feel your body close to mine. We're on a different grind, girl. I wanna see it all when I should play blind. But girl, I can't let go because you blow my mind.
When you're about to have one night, you know I'ma do it to you all night. In a magic body feeling alright. Sliding how you wanna be so tight. So when you're about to have
I see you. In each moment, I yearn to be you. We are one, a complete whole. Merge in one heart, moving with one soul. In your time of despair, allow me to hear it. Disclose silent words, spoken by your spirit. I only walk in you. You are felt walking in me. This foundation will not falter. We are destined to be. My heart sighs, joyful cries. In your world of truth, there are no lies. I am lost forever. You are treasure, found beyond measure. Tears from happiness, drown this face. You fill the void with love to embrace. This ring fills the fate, which gives you my life. You have been my friend. I am so proud to call my wife.
All right. Welcome into Grown Women of Youth and Vibes. We have a special treat for you today. Mr. Jerome Bradley, a.k.a. Jay Wright, is in the house. We're going to hear his story, his testimony that led him into converting into a musical poet. Make sure you share. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is one you don't want to blink your eye on. To host the show, we have Miss Keisha Shackle, the co-owner of Grown Women of Youth and Vibes, and co-host of the Unspoken Heart Discussion Hour. So right now, what we're going to do, we're going to turn it over to her. But before we do, make sure you tune in next Friday as the Grown Men of Talking of Incorporated speak on the pursuit to switching up. What that's about, hey, you got to set your notification and make sure you tune in live. Also, we will have Family Game Day next Friday, so make sure you tune in. Come on and join in with us. You never know what game we're going to play, what prize is going to be distributed to the winner. So make sure you tune in. Now, we're going to take it over to Miss Keisha.
Hello, people. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We have a super special treat for you tonight. So ladies, go grab your wine, your snacks, because I think you are really going to be amazed off of your seat. We have a phenomenal man that is going to come and share his story. Bring your Kleenex, okay? Because there are some crying moments in this. Bring your Kleenex, but most of all, lady, bring your open heart, because we are going to get to, okay, some of his good work. Is Melissa with us right now? Spicy.
No, she's not in just yet.
All right. Well, I'm going to just go ahead and take it until she shows up. So my interviewer, he is it to me. I got a chance to speak to him and talk to him, and just listening to his story, listening to him wow and amaze me. I was really blown off of my feet. He is such an open-hearted person, so willing to share. When I say you don't look like what you've been through, that would definitely be him. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to bring to you Mr. Jerome Bradley.
Hey, what's going on with the world? What's going on? Thank you so much, my sister, for having me. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm truly humbled, truly blessed just to be alive and just to be able to be a part of something so great. So thank you so much.
You are more than welcome. We thank you for sharing your time and your story with us. So we are just going to go ahead and just hop into it. So first of all, we want to get to know this phenomenal man. I'm going to engage him in some questions so that he can share his story. Again, this story amazed me and just touched my heart. So we're going to just start with Mr. Jerome. Tell us where you were born. Where did all this start?
I was born in Harlem, New York, and raised in South Jamaica, Queens.
See, already phenomenal.
It's been one heck of a journey, a roller coaster.
It truly has. So I'm going to have you start off by just starting kind of from the beginning, as far as how did you end up in Jamaica, Queens?
My brother died at the age of 5. He mistaken my mother's drugs for candy, and he lost his life. And from there, the foster system, I was put in foster care from the age of 2 years old. I was removed from my mother because, my mother, it was her drugs that killed my brother. And I was put in foster care. And I was put into a home in Jamaica, Queens by Miss Bradley. And I was raised in that home until I was 8 years old.
So let's talk about Miss Bradley. Oh, look at that adorable picture. All those curls for the girls. Now, tell us a little bit so we can kind of have an idea before we go on. What was life like with Miss Bradley?
Oh, it was a beautiful upbringing, a stable, safe home. Family orientated. I was protected. I was given love, and from like an age of from 2 until I was 8 years old, and then one day it was all taken away. It was taken away, and what happened was the system thought my mother was stable, so naturally they would take me from the foster home and put me back with my mother, who happened to be on drugs. And the system did not, at the time, back in the days, did not thoroughly do their investigation or their checkup. They just put me back in the home, and here you are with this stranger. At the age of 8, I was put back with my biological mother, and I had no idea who this woman was or these siblings that were in the home. Because
so from ages 2 to 8, you did not get any opportunity to see your biological mother, talk to her. So this was truly a stranger to you. You only knew the woman that loved you as your mother, correct?
Yeah.
So you're taken from Miss Bradley, who showed you unconditional motherly love, and you're put back with your biological mom, who you hadn't seen since you were 2.
And had no idea, like, who would remember from 2 years old who this woman was? I had no idea who this woman was at all.
So
And
then
I
what
think
happened when you went back, with your biological mom? Was it a happy reunion? Did life resume the same? What happened?
it was hell. It was hell. My mother was lost in the street, chasing the drugs, and she would leave the kids alone. So I was the oldest in the household, and I had to find means of necessities to survive. There were times when we were hungry, without food. My brothers was squirming on the floor like a crab, screaming that he was hungry. So I had to do what I had to do. I had to go in the streets. I had to rob stores for food. I had to go into people's apartments and rob their homes, their cabinets for food. I had to do what I had to do by all means necessary. It didn't make it right, but by all means necessary, you got to do what you have to do to survive. And that
Right.
natural animal instincts kicked in. And all I knew
Yeah.
was to steal or by any means
So at
necessary.
this time, you're still 8 years old.
Yes.
You're 8 years old. Now, when you say your siblings, did you know these siblings? Were they around? I'm sure you were too. So you didn't even know who these siblings were before you got a chance to get to know them as well.
No. I had no idea who the siblings were. I didn't know who my brothers and sisters were. I came back. It was 4 siblings. I had no idea who they were, but because that was my brothers and sisters, naturally, as a human, you know that you're gonna look out for them. You're gonna bond with them, and you have to accept them for what it is. And I did what I had to do by all means necessary.
So you became an instant, you went from playing outside, birthday parties, living the life of a regular kid, to now you are the man of the house at 8 years old. You're expected to provide, to protect, to show your siblings, which if you're 8, that means they're way younger than you are. So you now become the man of the house, and you do this by stealing. Now,
Stealing.
when you say robbing people, were these people at home when you did this?
The elderly people were home. Some of the Spanish people were home, and they didn't speak Spanish, so I would just act like I was talking Spanish and pointing fingers, and like, he let me here, he told me to come here, and I have to get this, and I was just mumbling like in another language, and just going in these cabinets and just grabbing up anything I can put my hands on, going in the fridge, grabbing eggs, whatever I had to do.
Wow. That actually says a lot. One, that's brave. Like you really couldn't afford to have any fear, because you had siblings, babies at home that you knew that you had to feed. You had a mighty warrior type spirit going on to put yourself in danger. So during this time, was mom in and out of the house, or it was just you and the siblings at home?
No, mom's was living there, but mom's was lost in the street on those drugs. The devil had a grip on her, and she was just running and ripping and running and running and running. And this went on for 3 years. And every day is just, scary. You don't know who's coming into the house. You're 8 years old until you're 11 years old, and you have to fight off anybody. It was crazy. This was in Brooklyn at the time, and it was rough out there in those streets. So when people glorify the streets and stuff like that, and as I was growing up, I never entertained the streets, because I was actually born in the streets and been in them streets and knew everything about survival. So it was nothing for me to ever glorify. It was horrific for me.
Wow. I think of our 8-year-olds today, and I'm sure there are some 8-year-olds that can hold it down, but 11 10 8 all the way to 11. Wow, man, that is honestly amazing. Now, during this time, what were you feeling? You went from this to that. What were your emotions? Like, what was going on in your head and your heart? What were you feeling?
I felt empty, to be honest with you. I felt alone. I felt empty. I wanted someone to save me. And, we didn't touch on this, but there was a time when I wanted to commit suicide, and I attempted to commit suicide, where I ate some poison, and then I was taking Nair, and I was putting it all over myself, and that was just for attention, reaching out for someone to see this, to say, hey, what's going on, to help me. I locked myself in the unplugged refrigerator. I thought I was suffocated. I just wanted to end. It was a nightmare.
Oh man, I told you, ladies, bring your tissue, because this man has definitely been on a journey through life. We often wonder, like, God, why? We're gonna take a break. We're gonna let Jerome take a quick breather, and we'll be back in 2.
So tragic. So tragic. You are magic. What's the potion? And you are smooth. Just like lotion. So much motion. So much romance. Looking at our shadows. Look how they dance. I'm taking a long look. And not just a glance. Oh, lady, I love your stance. Got me so lost in the trance.
All right. We want to thank everyone over there on both pages of Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and Rumble for tuning in. Make sure you tune in next Saturday as the Grown Man Talking Incorporated comes to your screen to discuss the pursuit of switching up. Also, next Saturday will be the game day, family game day. Hey, trust me, if you want some fun and laughter, make sure you tune in. Now back over to Keisha.
All right. Again, thank you guys for tuning in, sitting down, sipping some tea with us, with our special guest, Jerome Bradley. He is bringing us an awesome, heartfelt, just testimony. He's just telling us of his journey, what he went through. That's his testimony. Because we often wonder, like, why do we have to go through this? But then on the other hand, why not? Because it makes us who we are. It makes us become the person that we are. It makes us love the way we love. And it makes us more cautious of things that we, just need to be aware of, because, we're not promised anything from one day to the next. But God definitely had his hand on this young man. So we're going to go ahead and bring him back so we can dig a little bit deeper. It gets better. So we're going to dig on in a little bit more. All right. We good?
Yes.
All right. So we're just going to jump right on back in. So we're at 11. Tell me, now you did talk about a situation that happened from between the ages of 10 and 11. Take me quickly through that scenario, which led you all the way up to like age 18.
Yes. What happened was my mother, like she had a sugar daddy and stuff like that. So I went over to the sugar daddy's house with my sister. And then he was just like, hey, do me a favor, just run to the store real quick. I said, I'm going to take my sister. He was just like, yo, just let her here and stuff like that. Young, didn't think nothing of it. Went to the store, came back. My sister was looking kind of suspicious. So I was just like, yo, so what's going on? What's happening? What's up? And she told me that he touched her. So I was just like, what? So at the age of, I think I was 9 at the time, I fought him from inside the apartment, the whole way down the stairs, down the street, everything. I'm fighting as you know, as best as I could as a young man. Unfortunately, the neighborhood jumped me because of he was Spanish. It was a Spanish neighborhood at the time. They jumped me, and it was like, get away from me, you little dirty boy, and stuff like that. So at that time, I kept it in my head. I said, when I get older, I'm gonna come see this dude. So when I hit 18 years old, I went looking for him. My mother would not give him up for nothing. And to be honest with you, thank God that my mother didn't give him up, because it would have been a terrible situation, would have led me to a bad situation. So that was just something that I harbored and kept in my heart to avenge my sister.
Right. Wow. I'm glad that your mom didn't give him up either, because it would be a whole different story, a whole different testimony to tell. Now, it was a turning point around age 11. What happened around age 11 that kind of turned things around for you?
So age 11, what happened was somebody in the neighborhood put a report in, eventually ACS or whatever at the time you call them. They actually came in, and my siblings was running. They were running from them, hiding and stuff like that. We were being taken into custody. Police came and everything. It was a huge situation. I was running towards them. My family, my siblings running away from them. I was so happy to be saved. I was running towards them. I was so happy, hugging, kissing. And we were actually put in a foster home. We put in a foster home. And what happened was, when we were seeing, you see psychiatrists and stuff like that. And during that time, I was like, Miss Bradley, Miss Bradley, Miss Bradley. So they were telling the foster mother, no, what happened is children make a figment of imagination of a perfect family and stuff like that. Miss Bradley's just something fictitious, just something made up. Don't mind him. And I kept saying it, It was like, this guy's going crazy. So one day I was there seeing a psychiatrist, and I jumped on that phone and called Miss Bradley, and we were fighting. And I got Miss Bradley on the phone. I said, Miss Bradley, they got me. This is the situation. And I said, here. The woman was like, who's this? This is Miss Bradley. I had him. They were blown away from that point. And from that point, Miss Bradley put in motion to get me back. And she fought and fought until she had me back at the age of 12.
That's beautiful. So your nightmare was over. Did you ever think that maybe you were put in that situation to save your siblings? Because what would have become of them? I know it wasn't an ideal situation, and you went through some trials and tribulations, but do you ever think that you were placed back there just to save them? Because now at age 11, 12, you are being back redeemed by Miss Bradley, who loved you from 2 to 8. Now you're back with her. So did life resume once she got you? Now, she didn't take your siblings, so that was, I'm sure, heartbreaking as well.
Right.
But did life return back to normal? I mean, I know it's kind of hard to shut all that down.
Right.
But did life go back to normal?
Actually, the trauma, the stuff that the stuff that I went through, and at such a young age, I didn't even know how to express myself or anything like that. So I was happy to be out of the situation, but I was scarred at the same time, where I was rebellious. I was very violent and very confrontational. And I felt like, any situation where I saw someone being bullied or taken advantage of, I had to be the hero. I know what they're going through. I know they're a victim. I've been a victim. No one's going to victimize you. So I became like a vigilante.
Well, you thought that you had to save everybody. You were still actually living in survival mode, because you felt that you had to be everybody's, redeeming grace, walking through saving everybody. So you were adopted in 1983 at the age of 12. You had a lot of undealt with anger, trauma, thinking that you had to take up for everybody. So did that lead to, where did that lead you going down that path of destruction? Where did that lead you?
Going down that path of destruction led me into prison. Led me into prison, yes. Eventually, it led me into prison. There was a void that was never taken care of. No one there, no one to really speak to me. Miss Bradley was a wonderful woman, yes, but I never had a male figure in my life. I never had anyone to sit me down and give me structure and stuff like that. Look at the picture right there. That's when I was
Beautiful lady.
I was living a double life right there because I didn't know.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't know.
Wow.
I didn't know myself. So you would look at this handsome man, looked like he had it all together, but I was lost.
Didn't look traumatized at all.
Nothing at
Now,
all. I was a lost soul.
So before you went to prison, were there any children or no?
No, my son was actually born while I was in prison.
Wow. Oh. So did you get to create any kind of bond, any kind of relationship with him? I know it's kind of hard when he's there and you're in another place, but did he know you at all?
No, not at all. He knew of me, but didn't know me. And we didn't have the bond like a father and son should have had. Not at all until I was released.
So you were away from your son for 22 years.
12 years.
For 12 years. So he was going into teenage years. So did anything happen while you were in prison that like turned your life around, or anything that like opened your eyes to anything?
Yes. And actually, during my incarceration, I had the mentality of, just let the time do itself. Let the time do me instead of me doing the time. So I was just drifting and existing. And then I was in solitary confinement. And that's when God came to me and he said, if you continue down this path, you're going to go into destruction, or you can follow me and I'll change your life. And I gave God a chance. And from that point, I was serving the 2 years solitary confinement. I put in my appeal, and for some reason, God is so good. My appeal was overturned. I won. I did 1 year in solitary confinement. I was released back into population. Went right back into I went right to church, turned my whole life around, but it didn't end there. That was a turning point for my life. However, old things catch up to you. I was a soldier. I was a warrior. So my friends saw me and they wanted me to be that same warrior. And I said, I gave my life to God, and this is a changing point in my life. So they surrounded me, had shanks on me, and I was there by myself with the Bible. And I said, I'd rather you take my life than for me to take someone else's life for no cause. Do what you got to do. They let me go. 3 years later, I was in church, and then usher said, hey, I know you. I said, you probably saw me around. He grabbed my wrist very hard. He says, I know you, we need to speak. And after the service, he said he was he was a hitman. He was successful in every single hit. There was a hit out on me once I walked out that circle, and he was behind me 3 separate occasions, could not reach for his weapon. And I said, there it is, man. God is good. He has a purpose. We hugged, kissed, everything like that. Man, I was crying. I was just like, hey, God can touch those hearts and change lives. So from that point, I've never looked back. I never looked back.
So you didn't look back. All of this happened while you were in prison. The men trying to harm you.
Mm-hmm.
All of that happened while you were in prison.
I lived in solitary confinement. I did 2 years on Rikers Island. I lived in solitary confinement. I lived in SHU. Man, I look handsome now.
You do.
And
wow.
that was me right there in prison. That was me in prison right there. That was me in prison. And that was prior to, that's when I was living a double life. Didn't know I was modeling and in the street, 2 different things, carrying guns, doing all type of stuff, getting into problems, going to war in the street. Yeah. Wow. But I will say
now
this.
We're we found God. We're trying to live as right as we can. So when did the poetry start for you? When did you decide to put the pen to the paper?
Okay, so what happened was, I was actually illiterate. I was actually illiterate, and I really couldn't read or write. And I just started writing poetry for some reason. I just started writing poems. When during my incarceration, I just started writing poetry, writing poems. And then what I decided to do was I actually put the poetry to the side, and I continued the education where I was paying for my own correspondence schooling. So I put the poetry aside, wrapped it up, and sent it to the copyright center, and just sent it off, and then just started educating myself, continue education on my own. And then once I was released, there was a time, I was just working and working and working, and then I just stopped one day, and I said, God, I know you have a bigger purpose in my life than just working, and there's nothing wrong with working, but I just said, from everything that I experienced and everything I went through, you have to have a bigger purpose for me. So I was just like, I don't know what that purpose is. And then I just thought about what talent do I have? And I remember my poems. I retrieved the poems, sent the money off to the copyrights, received it, and then I put out a book. It's called A Miracle Born in the Desert. And I put that book out. And then from there, a guy named Turner Malik, Conversation with Malik, he put me on that's my other book too. That's my other book. He put me on a podcast show. And then from there, all things just opened up.
All right. So we got some poems. We got an author here. He said he did some modeling. So his life, even though it started off rocky, it got better. It got back rocky. Look how God is blessing this man. See, you don't have to look like what you've been through. You just have to believe that it is a greater thing out there. So now we did the poems, we got the book going, because you're also known as the musical poet.
Yes,
now,
yes.
About this musical part of it?
So what happened was I started putting out the poems, putting out the poetry, and I realized that, okay, this is great and stuff like that. However, if we could merge some music with the poetry, we could stand out and be someone different. So that's what I wanted to just be, in a different light, in a lane, all by myself. I had age on me. I'm 54 years old right now. I had age on me. I started when I was like maybe 49. I've been doing it, I'm at 54. About 5 years now. So I knew age was against me. So what I wanted to do was I just said I'm a musical poet, so I could just slide myself in situations and stuff like that.
Now, do you compose your own music to go with your poems, or do you have someone that composes that for you?
I actually have people that compose the music for me. I buy the beats. Sometimes I grab them off of YouTube, free beats. I have people that compose it. But what I do myself is I write everything. I engineer everything. I have my own home studio. I master everything. I produce everything. So I do everything from start to finish, and put it out there on all the music platforms.
Now, does the poetry spike the music, or does the music spike the poetry?
The music spikes the poetry. The music spikes the poetry. What happens is I will write everything out, and then I'll just find a beat, and it may not even go with the beat. It's just, it all blends in just perfectly. So that's how I just go from there. I would just write on a dime. I write something out. I write an entire song in 5 minutes. From start to finish, I write out a song. And I have over 180 songs on all the music platforms right now.
Oh, wow. Now, we're going to wow our listeners right now. Now, you've made some pretty amazing accomplishments. Can you just share the most amazing one the one that I think is the most amazing one? I'm sure you have a lot of most amazing ones. But can you share the moment that kind of pushed everything over the top?
Yes. I actually auditioned for the Apollo Theater if you know the iconic Apollo Theater in New York. And to be honest with you, wow,
Look at that.
I that was a lifetime achievement right there. Win, lose, or boo, you know, to get to the Apollo Theater is a once in a lifetime experience. When they called me, I hung up the phone on them. They text me. I thought it was a joke, a prank, and I almost passed out. I almost passed out. I was just so overwhelmed, and just to touch that stump, I actually wanted to just pass out when I saw that stump to actually touch it, because I saw all the legends before actually do that, and to be a musical poet to get that opportunity was overwhelming for me.
That's the most amazing to me. Now, when you went to the Apollo, you did did you just do poetry, or did you do the music with the poetry at the same time?
I did the musical poetry, and what happened was, me being a type of guy that keeps it 100 with everyone and stuff like that, tries to, you know, uplift and bring the next person. An artist and myself did a song, and that's the song they chose. He decided to get cold feet and back out of it. I tried to change the song, but at that point, Apollo Theater said, no, this is what we chose, and this is what it is. So the beginning of the song was his part. So that's where everything got screwed up at. But it was amazing. I did it. I went there and I did it. It was amazing.
See, what's for you is for you. Now, from where you started to going to the Apollo, what did that do to your inner person? Where at this point, had you started to come out of that anger and some of that trauma? How did this going to the Apollo change your life?
Going to the Apollo Theater and all the accomplishments that I've accomplished actually suppressed all the everything that's in the past. I just looked at it like, hey, this was God's will. This is something that we had to do in order to, you know, like mold you into who you are today. Sometimes we have to go through that adversity. Sometimes we have to go through all the fire and stuff like that. So the past me was that was me at the UMA Awards in Atlanta. I won that was my second time winning Artist of the Year. So I've accomplished a lot, over 100 accolades. This right here, I got a double time. It's hard to even get one of those, so I got two of those. And I've accomplished a lot. Lifetime Achievement Awards from the White House, Joe Biden, and it's been a lot. But I never allow those things to get to my head. I'm very humble, and actually those things, you know, it means a lot, but it doesn't mean a lot, because I do it for the passion. I'm not in it for the money. Everything, I believe that God has a purpose and a timing for everything, and everything's going to be on the back end. But I just push out that passion, and I want to be that light to say, hey, despite losing, does not define you to be a loser. And you can accomplish anything, no matter what you've been through. No matter the losses, does not define you to be a loser, to get out there and be consistent and be self-validated, and investment in yourself.
Those are some good words. I am so glad that you did not, and I'm sure it was some ups and downs, some depressing moments, but I'm so glad that you did not let what happened at 2 years old, 8 years old, 10 years old define you. I am so just proud of you that you were able to push through that. I'm sure it was some good days and some bad days, but look at where you are right now. And you could still be dealing with some little small things, but look at where you are right now. So going to the Apollo and all these accomplishments, you've bumped shoulders with some pretty famous people.
Yes. I've
bumped shoulders with.
Yes, I've actually opened up the door, open up the show for intro. Let me be the one you come running to. Let me be.
Yeah.
I opened up for them. I opened up for Mr. Cheeks, the Lost Boys, Queens. I've opened up for the Force MDs. I've opened up for Melissa Morgan at the Fox Theater, Chubb Rock. and many more. I just can't keep keep a track of it. However, I will say this to you: to be a poet is and to get in these doors is unbelievable because no one wants to hear about a poet. It sounds nice, poetry is rap and all that stuff. It sounds good until the poets in the building. Once you're in the building, there's a lot of rejection behind the scenes.
Mr. Jerome, we're gonna leave that thought and we're gonna come back to that thought. We are gonna take our next break. We'll see you back in 2 and 2.
I need you to be strong. Although I will go on, I will live on through the words of this song. I received the news today. The bright sun turned gray. I felt my life dreams just slip away. I dropped to my knees to pray. Why me? How do I tell my wife I will deteriorate and lose my life? My weight is lost, pounds I can't gain. Damn, this pain. But you know what? I will always remember your name. Remember your name. I will always remember your name. I will always remember your name. I will always remember your name.
All right. For copyright reasons, I'm just going to let y'all know, put it out there for Facebook and YouTube. We ain't got to worry about Rumble because Rumble don't care. But all rights to the music and the lyrics belong to Mr. J. Wright himself, our special guest. So make sure y'all look him up. He will give those details later on in the show. But also, if you're enjoying the show, please put those purple hearts up, like, subscribe. Make sure y'all look him up. Powerful man, very deep, very loving, everything from the heart. Also, remember, next Saturday on the Unspoken Heart Discussion Hour, we will be having Family Game Day. Make sure you set some notifications because I'm going to tell you, it's going to be some family fun and some laughter going on. You don't want to miss out. And coming back Friday will be the Grown Men Talking Incorporated, the pursuit to switching up. When he is pursuing after a woman, but then once he get her, he switches up his game and he loses interest. Let's see what the guys have to talk about on that next Friday. Now back over to Keisha.
All right. Thank you. Hit us with those purple hearts. We're going to jump right back into this. We're having an awesome time with Mr. Jerome. Again, thank you for sharing your story with us. Now,
thank you for
I
having
know
me.
that, I'm sorry, what did you say?
I said, thank you for having me.
Oh, most definitely. So let's jump into the part now. I know we have the son, but at this time, you've already created a relationship with him, correct?
Yes.
Handsome young man. And then, is he your only child?
No, I actually have a daughter, and that's my baby right there. I had to, there she is graduating. I actually have sole custody of her and have sole custody of her for the last, she's 18, for the last 16 years since she was 2 years old. I went to the court system. I fought for her. And it was very important for me to give her a stable life because there's a lot of sickos out there and stuff like that. You know, the baby's mother might be around the wrong guy. So I didn't want any of that and stuff like that, not for her, especially the traumas that I went through. And I fought in a system where men were not in favor of being the fathers and parental full guidance and full sole custody of the child. And I actually won when men were not winning. And I actually won 16 years ago. And I've been going on and stuff like that. So when people talk about gangster and stuff like that, that's all beautiful. But a gangster to me is a man that's responsible, that's getting up, busting his behind every day. You may not have the things that you want, but God's going to provide the things that you need. And just getting by to me is just, it brings me happiness to just know that I'm walking right. I don't have to look over my shoulders. Everything is legit. And my kids love me. And that's, to me, is the greatest gift.
That's a wonderful gift, because there's so many kids, as you went through all of that yourself, and all you wanted was protection, love, a stable place, not to be the man at 8 years old. So that is very awesome. Now, with having the baby girl at 2, how did you balance fatherhood with all the things that you were doing? How did you balance that out?
Ooh, it was not easy, and it still ain't easy, especially raising a girl, at 18 years old. Financially, it's not easy, and but you got to do what you got to do. You make the sacrifice. That's what it's about. You can't give up. It's not easy, like I said, but you just got to be consistent, and you got to make that sacrifice, and you got to put your priorities together. You got to put your priorities together. Although you want to do this, do that, do that, you can't do all of that stuff. So you got to do what's necessary to provide for that child.
Right. So she's 18. Is she going off to college?
She's going to be going off to college, probably a trade school. I'm looking into college right now. Right now, you just graduated. Relax, breathe, put things in order. There's no need to rush. I that's how I look at it. There's no need to rush life. Just figure things out, and everything's just going to come together, and then we'll go from there. No pressure.
That is wonderful. I'm sure you are one of her biggest inspirations, because I'm sure you've sat down and shared with her just some things that, what you went through.
Yes.
And I know she is proud that you are her father.
Yes.
So now you got all this lovely talent. Are we going to be able to hear some of this live musical poet blessing?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. I have this song called Another You for Me. So it's very simple, short. So we could just throw that on. You ready for it?
We ready.
When you find that special one, baby, when I look into your eyes, I am instantly mesmerized, thinking back to that time, sends chills up and down my spine, knowing that it's you who I will share a lifetime with. God knew our needs and brought me to you, and you to me. Through the good, the bad, happy and sad, I stand by you, and you stand by me too. There have been storms, yes, that we are forced to face, some that truly tried to destroy us and disgrace, but together, together, side by side, we conquered and rise. Time after time, you and me together, over them, you and me until the end. I stand before you, my true and honest heart, because in my eyes, there would never be another you and me.
All right. Put them up. All right. That was fire. Now, that sounded kind of like a love. It's Sound like a love poem, some love poetry. Now, what is what's the main theme behind most of your poetry?
The whole thing behind my poetry is love. I'm the musical love poet, and this world is depleted of love. If you look around, there's nothing but a bunch of hate, despiteful people. They want to see you down. A lot of people they don't want to uplift each other. Everyone's being selfish. So my whole thing is, let's bring love. You could choose to be hateful, or you could choose to be uplifting. And my message is all about love. Love the woman, protect the children. Love the woman, protect the children. That's this very simple vibe. It's a love vibe. We're bringing back yesterday, today. We have the old school from yesterday's vibe today. That's it.
That's it. Now, on one of the clips, it looks like you were speaking to like a couple. Were they getting married? So do you speak at weddings, all that?
Yes. And let me say this humbly, for any artist, I don't care who you are, for you to be called to a wedding, a person's special day, is a whole different level of entertainment. You are an entertainer. So I've done about 5 weddings. I've traveled out to different states. Surprised, I was in the audience acting like I was just cutting the cake, and next thing you know, I just jump right in and start doing what I have to do. But yes, that one there was, in everything I do, I see you. In each moment I yearn to be you. We are one, a complete whole, merged in one heart, moving with one soul. That was a wedding. My friend actually gifted me to them for their wedding. The gift was me to them.
Oh, wow, that's beautiful. Now, did you write that just for them? Like that was their musical poetry just for them?
No. I'm not gonna stand up here and lie. I've done personal poems for people for their wives and stuff like that. However, they asked me to choose the song, choose the lyrics, choose the poems. And that's when I said, you know what, this right here would be perfect for this setting. So I write out all my stuff, or I have some stuff, and I said, this is perfect for that situation. However, I do personalize everything from start to finish. So yes.
Wow, that was awesome. So right now where you are, if you could talk to your younger you, what would you tell you?
I would reach back and say, never give up. Never give up, because all things are possible if you believe and you endure and don't give up. You can accomplish anything at any age. All things are possible. So it's never too late to be great.
That is super awesome. That is a lovely thing that you would tell yourself. Now, I just have one question for you. Now, if I call you a particular name, I need to see his face. Let me see his face because I need to know this. Buttercup.
Buttercup is a beautiful name. You know, someone that they appreciate me and stuff like that. So that's just a special name for Buttercup. That's me.
You somebody's Buttercup. That's so sweet.
Thank you.
Well, after all you've been, you deserve to be special to someone, and all the things that you've walked through. You deserve to be special to children and apparently Buttercup. So yes. Give me one. Just a nutritional.
We need to go to commercial break first. The music's been going.
Oh, okay. Well, then we'll be back in 2 and 2.
Let me pull up and make love to you tonight.
for your touch. I don't wanna fight, I just wanna make love. Wanna make love,
Come to
wanna
me.
make love. I can't even front, I've been yearning for your touch. Yearning for your touch, yearning for your touch. I wanna make love, wanna make love, wanna make love to you, baby. I wanna make love, wanna make love, wanna make love to you, baby.
Come to me, baby. Oh, girl, I need you. I don't want to fight. I want to make.
All right, all right, all right. Thank y'all for tuning in. This has been a pleasure, a great show, great interview. But remember, next Saturday, we will be having Family Game Day. And next Friday, Grown Man Talking comes back to you with the topic of the pursuit to switching up. Now, as we go back to Keisha, we will find out what other appearances he have had appeared on, as well as a movie that he has also been starred in. Now, back over to Keisha.
All right, welcome back, welcome back. All right, let's jump in this, and we got some more good stuff. Okay, and so we know that you're a model, we know that you're an actor, we know that you're an author. Now tell us, you got two real important things that's on the burner. Tell us about those two things.
That's there it is right there. Jokes on Us. I'm actually in that movie. There I am right there. I'm actually arresting someone in the courtroom and escorting them, and then I'm in right there the news press right there. So like I said, being at the right place at the right time, I was actually there, and it was just like, look at that dude right there. He looks like a police officer. And I'm up there posting up, and they said, "Would you like to be a police?" And I said, "Heck yeah! Where's the uniform? Let's do it." Listen, look, guys. At this point in my life, all of that street stuff and all that stuff like that, man. Listen, I'm a straight square, taking care of my family. What do you call it? Tax-paying person, man. I ain't with none of that stuff. I'm taking it all. I'm not. One thing I ain't gonna do is just do some crazy stuff on with movies and sell out. But as far as characters, police officers and stuff like that, I'm in another movie coming up right now. I'm actually one of the a state trooper Jones. So I'm actually in another movie. I'm in another movie. I had so many things going on. I forgot and I don't know the names. I'm in another movie where I'm actually performing one of my songs in the diner. So listen, God will keep you from overlooked to overbooked. And right now we are overbooked. We're overbooked. I'm turning down shows. I'm turning down shows.
Wow. Now, what about like stage plays or anything like that? Are you doing any like live stage plays?
I have a live stage play coming up. I'm doing all type of stuff. All type of stuff. This is, like I said, it's just overwhelming. I have so many things going on, and it sounds bad, but I don't remember everything because I'm just like I just do it for passion, and I just do it, and not for the validation of anything. I just do it and just keep doing it, putting out songs, putting out collaborations, doing modeling. I'm actually doing a modeling show in August. It's going to be major and stuff like that. Some big people behind that. I'm doing another show at the end of the month. Big people going on. So it's just a lot of things. I just love doing what I do. It's just filled with passion. I just love to do it. I don't know how I balance it because I work a full-time job. I'm a full-time father and bodyguard and everything like that, security, taking care of the family. But as far as just it's God. God is just so good. God is so good. Just never give up on your dreams, never give up on your hope, and just remember that you are so dope in everything that you do. The last shall be the first, and the first shall be the last. Never give up. Never give up. It's never too late.
Well, that's saying, bro, let it rain, open the floodgates of heaven. You
Yes.
went from overlooked to overbooked. That is, I like that. I'm gonna have to borrow that. When God see fit to give it to you, see, he had to take you through all of that just so he, at the end, he can give all of these things to you. And you
Yeah.
are so humble. You didn't get the big head. You didn't, take it and run off with it. You are still giving back to the community. You're there for your children. Those are all amazing accomplishments. And I am so privileged to be able to sit on this panel tonight and just hear the wonderful things that you have done, all the wonderful people that have, and I know you're going to meet even more. So when we meet again, then we're going to add to this list. Let's see, we got Chuck Rock, Silk, Mr. Cheek,
Yes.
Intro, Christopher Williams, Melissa Morgan,
Yes.
everybody.
Christopher Williams, yes, great guy, man. Shout out to Christopher Williams. He's a beautiful soul, man. Everybody was talking bad about the man and stuff like that. His health, that he was on drugs. No, it's all lies. He was going through a health problem and stuff like that. His health was declining. God overturned it and brought him back up. So please stop talking about people if you don't know what's going on. He's a great guy. I met him. He's an amazing guy.
That is awesome. And one more thing, you got to perform at a birthday party. Whose birthday party was that?
Whose birthday party was
Henson.
that?
Darren Henson. Darren.
Yes, guys.
How you forget that big birthday?
At Darren Henson's birthday party, guys. If you don't know who Darren Henson is, that he's actually a choreographer, a dancer, and he put a lot of dance moves together behind all the hip hop. He was a pioneer of a lot of stuff. People didn't know that. You got to look at his documentary. Darren Henson, guys. He's amazing. Amazing guy.
Now, when we did speak, you told me that, I guess, what he left you or experiencing that with him, that made you think of consistency. You said that
Yes.
just to consistent.
Yeah, it was the consistency. When I met him, I'm gonna tell you like this. I inboxed this man. I said, "Hey, can I perform at your birthday party?" He said, "Do me a favor. Pull up at the birthday party and I'll put you on." I went there. He says, "Hey, I got you. Go talk to the DJ and give the DJ your music." Man, when I went up there to perform, I looked back. He had my whole picture up there as I was performing. But the consistency, it's not the talent. It was the consistency of me continue putting myself out there, keep knocking on those doors, asking and asking and asking, and the doors flood and opened up. And it was only because of my consistency. Nothing came to me. You can't go out there and do a show and think someone's going to run to you. You might do 50 shows and just get that one person, and 50 more and get that second person. So it's consistency.
So who would you say right now is your biggest support team, or even was, that kept you on the straight and narrow as much as they could? Because we all need a support team behind us, because it says when we just want to quit. So who was your support team, support system?
I would say my support system and everything. I look at my kids and I say, I can't give up. I've come too far. I look at the beautiful souls that's in my life, that those special people that's in my life that God has put there. And I look at them, and for the haters too, that despise and want to see you fall, that gives me energy. We need them. It gives me the support and the energy. For all my losses, it actually gives me that fuel to go out there and win, because I want people to see that, listen, man, we were broken souls. They gave up on us. One of us got to win, and we gonna win.
Wow, that is beautiful. So I'm going to have you, you've given us a lot of nutrition, but I'm just going to have you give us a quick, just a couple of words of nutrition to all those that are listening. You never know what people are going through and how you can, touch their life just with a couple of words. So if you could just leave us with a nutritional word before we get ready to end this wonderful party here.
Very simple. Never give up. Never give up.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you so much. I was truly blessed just to be able to you to share, and like I said, just hearing all the things and just looking at you, because you do not look like what you have been through. So
Thank you so much.
never give up. That is the best nutritional word that could go out across all the listeners. So whatever you are going through, no matter what the battle is, it don't matter what's happening right now. It does not mean that is your end point. Just do not give up. Thank you so much, Mr. Jerome Bradley. Thank you, Mr. Jay Wrights, for sharing your story, sharing your time, sharing your deepest things with us. We definitely appreciate that. Spicy, is there anything that you would like to say?
Yeah, I have one question. And I mean, I'm going to tell you, it was such an honor in having you a part of our platform and to share your journey with us, because you are a true stamp that you can turn your life around and use those tools in order to be great in life, that you don't have to allow it to destroy you. But my first question is, who was it that inspired you in life in order to proceed the way you have in becoming the musical poet?
His name was Barry White. Barry White inspired me because I looked at Barry White and he said, listen, no matter what, just keep putting it out there. Keep putting it out there. Don't worry about it being stolen or anything. If you have a true talent, you can always push out more. So don't ever hold back. Keep pushing out. So I looked at him and I just looked at him, his voice, his determination. He actually was performing until he died, basically. He was on stage, crippled, busted up. He couldn't even stand up, but he was out there performing. And there was a time when Barry White went broke. He was actually broke, and he went to this white guy and he asked him, he said, hey, I need a loan. That guy gave him a loan and gave him an opportunity, and he became the man again. And he became a big star until he died.
Yes, yes. Now the other question is, because I listen to a lot of young people this generation, and some are hurtful, some is are lost, and some they need guidance that they didn't have, even as men that's supposed to be a father. Now, if there's a young man out there that you see or even hear about, and he's a good artist, but he haven't been connected with the right people, but the people that he's surrounded by are more or less, I call it verbal, mental, and emotional abusive. But they see the greatness in him, but they keep saying words of negativity to tear him down, to hold him down, to hold him back, to feel like he's alone or he has no worth in life. What would you say to this young man?
You have to have self-validation. You have to believe in yourself, and you got to always remember that even your mother, your father, your brother, your uncles, they may not believe in you. You got to cut ties and get far away from them. You got to go to the studio. You got to be consistent. You got to keep writing. You got to make those dreams come true. No one believed in me. They thought it was a joke and stuff like that. My own personal family. But I didn't care about that. You got to shake that off. Do not allow their opinions to affect what God has given you as a gift. You got to just break through that and believe in yourself. It's not easy, but you got to just keep pushing.
And what about if you have so-called friends that more or less others see around him that's using him, but they making him feel like he's worthless?
You got to cut ties. You got to be a loner. That's what I am. I'm a loner. I stay by myself. I don't care about friends. I don't care about impressing them and stuff like that. I don't owe them nothing. I don't need to prove anything to them. You got to get away from them because they will be your downfall.
Exactly. Thank you. Back to you, teacher.
All righty. Well, I thank you for sharing with us. Just beautiful story. And I thank God for where you are. Um, and I believe that he has so much more for you. So you're gonna be even overbooked. Because
Thank
when
you.
he opened up floodgates, trust me, it just keeps coming. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for encouraging just the people that are listening, just to continue to go on. And I hope that you continue to do the. I think I pray that you only stop when you are tired, when you are ready to settle, say, I've had enough and I'm going to sit down. But even then, keep going. So thank
Keep
you.
going.
I think that is all for us tonight. I'm going to give you one last chance to say one thing to us, and then we are going to head out.
Keep going, guys. Just be consistent. Consistency will outweigh everything. Be seen out there. Be a light in life. Remember, the life out there is full of darkness. So be a light. And don't be afraid to be alone. Because it's a lonely journey, but you'll get there.
All right. All right. We're going to go out listening to the musical poet.
Wow, lady, you look amazing. You know, tonight, I want to see you vibing. Let go and let all your words flow. I want a yes and not a no.
Ain't no way they can hold